We hosted Thanksgiving. My sister-in-law and her 3 kids were staying with us, despite that she always treats me like crap for preferring pets over kids. On Tuesday, as I went to do some last-minute shopping, my sister-in-law texted about a tablecloth for her kids to put down while they did Christmas ornaments. I walked her through the closet with a very clearly marked tablecloths. I got home 3 hours later and checked in on everyone. When I went into the hobby room where everyone was gathered, I saw it. She pulled my freaking 8-layer brunette fabric from the closet marked fabric. This particular style was discontinued several years ago, but I snagged for $25 per yard. I had 6 yards. Let me note that fabric is expensive, and I have always sourced from thrift stores, deep clearance, etc. This was a gift to myself. I freaking screamed, "What the hell are you doing?" and ran to the table. She looked alarmed and acted like she had no idea what she'd done. Her freaking kid spilled all kinds of paint all over the fabric. I told everyone to stop, put down the crafts, and get out. After I freaking cried over that fabric and tried my best to salvage it, I demanded she replace it and said how. She argued that she had no way of knowing that ugly fabric was for something other than a tablecloth because it didn't look like anything anyone would ever wear seriously. I said I expected 6 yards. Black Friday, she and the girls handed me a Joanne fabric bag. They handed me 6 yards of an absolutely hideous keepsake calico fabric. Typically $9.99 per yard but on sale for $3.99 this weekend. I asked her if she was being serious and she said yes, here's 6 yards of ugly fabric. I deadpan, "Get the hell out of my house. Now." And she got very angry and started arguing with me that it's not her fault that I have expensive taste. I told her to leave now and not to come back unless she has equal quality fabric. Of course, I'm being told what an awful, evil person I am because I wouldn't graciously accept her insult of crap quality quilting cotton. For those who don't know fabric, this was like presenting someone with a 2001 Honda Civic after crashing their 2020 Maserati. Not the idiot. Everyone else has said their piece about replacement, so I'll say this. Check and make sure that all of your valuables, jewelry, important papers, etc. are all accounted for. Your sister-in-law was so far out of place that she had no reason to be looking around in your bedroom unless she was looking for something else first. It certainly doesn't take an aerospace engineer to realize that most people don't keep tablecloths in their bedroom closet. At best, your sister-in-law was being a snooping idiot. At worst, well, you are the idiot for keeping your valuables in an entirely separate and private part of your house. Maybe if you don't want to be held responsible for other people stealing and breaking your belongings, you should purchase a storage unit in a neighboring state. Seriously? Not the idiot. If this story were about a graphics card, everyone would be on your side. Some of the people in this thread need to get out of their mom's basements for once. Not the idiot. It doesn't matter what the object was worth, how expensive, how much of an accident it was. Someone ruins something of yours, they are obligated to repay the cost of the item in full. It doesn't matter that she doesn't know, it doesn't matter what she thinks. This is her fault for not paying attention to the labeling. If someone destroyed my $2K graphics tablet, I would not accept a $100 replacement. I would expect the exact brand and model or cash for however much that exact brand and model is running. I work part-time on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for 5 hours a day. My kids, 2 and 1, currently go to childcare for those days, but I want to increase it so they go Monday to Friday to give me a day to do all the housework, food shop and preparation, etc. on a Tuesday, and then a day where I can rest or relax on a Thursday. To be honest, we'll still end up doing chores, but that's the plan. I suffer with anxiety and depression, and constantly being on the go with the kids and work at the moment I'm really struggling. My family seems to think I'm horrible for not wanting to be with my kids every moment I'm not at work. They keep saying that my kids should be enough to keep me going. Which they are 100% the only reason I'm still alive to this day. But am I the idiot for wanting a break? The way I see it is I will be more attentive and a better parent by taking that time to decompress. They will also be in a much more encouraging environment for their development, as they will be with people specializing in child education. My daughter also has a speech delay and the childcare she's at has a SIL, speech specialist, so the more time she spends at nursery the more time she's going to have developing her speech. My partner is on board, he works full-time so is out of the house from 7:30 till 6 each day. I'm only putting them in for as long as my shifts are, so only 5 hours each day, meaning I will still have them for the majority of the day really. As they will be going 8-1 every day, so will be with me solely from 1-6, then my partner usually gets back in time for dinner, bath, bed. I'm starting to feel like I'm being selfish, and it's only 2 days where I would have them for a full day, and I should be able to cope. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. I've never understood the idea that parents aren't allowed to have a break. So you want a few hours to yourself. Why is that such a bad thing? Having them at daycare where they can socialize and learn is better than sticking them in front of a TV while you clean. The concept that you need to be around your kids every free minute you have is ludicrous. Do what works for you and forget about the others. Not the idiot. I have been the assistant director of a daycare for close to 10 years. We encourage the kids to come every day for routine and socialization. 5 hours a day is not too long anyway. As a teacher and a parent, I can assure you that they'll benefit immensely, not only from learning and playing, but also from having parents that feel less stressed during the rest of the time you spend with them. Please do not feel bad about looking after yourself. Not the idiot. If your kids enjoy the daycare and you enjoy your child free time, what's the harm? Nobody normally wants to spend every waking moment with their young children because we all need a break, and that is just as true for the children as it is for the parents. Kids thrive by interacting with others and exploring the world without their parents around. You don't need to excuse yourself by pointing to your daughter's speech therapy and the educational qualifications of the teachers. Let your kids play and socialize and come home with 100 stories that they can share with a relaxed mom who's happy to see them. I, 23, and my wife, 20, recently decided to move into our own place. My brother, 22, was looking to move as well, and he really didn't want to live alone, so we agreed he could move with us, and we would split all the bills 50-50. Since moving in together, my wife and I have paid significantly more than 50%. We agreed to pay to the move-in fees and deposit, and we're expecting to split the first month's rent, $1,600. We ended up paying the full rent for him, which made the total upfront payment come out to about $2,600, but all three of us failed to communicate what the expectations were regarding that, so we let it slide. But then, he came to us and said he didn't have enough money for his half of the rent for the second month, $800. We had the money for it and didn't want to be evicted on only our second month there, so we agreed to pay it, but he has to pay us back and start working more side jobs cause we do not want to pay for him again in the future. He's paid his side of the rent since then, but he hasn't contributed to the light bill or internet bill or groceries at all since moving in. We've paid for that 100%. The only payment he's made was he gave us $80, and we decided to count that as his contribution towards the internet for that month cause it's about half. The day while playing video games, he brought up that he wanted to buy the new Call of Duty for a friend. I mentioned the fact that he hasn't been paying us anything for the bills or paying us back the personal debt for when we paid his side of the rent, and he should really prioritize that and not video games. His excuse was that he's bought my wife and I food a few times, and we should have been counting the cost of the food as payments. This seems ridiculous cause 1. It was never agreed upon beforehand. 2. He offers the food and we've only actually accepted it maybe like 3 times. 3. We also buy him food, and 4. As I said before, we buy all the groceries which he also eats. So I told him that no, food does not count as payments towards bills or towards what he owes us, and he got upset about that and said he was gonna stop buying us food. I said that's fine, I'd rather him pay his bills. Am I the idiot for not counting food as currency? The last time I checked, I can't really send a burger to the light company. You're the idiot. He should be paying 1/3 at the most. You should stop having kids you can't afford. 3 of you in one room expect to pay 50% and him the other 50%. Hell no. He should be keeping up on his portion of payments though, and it's not your job to budget his money for him. Make a proper split and kick him out or move if he won't pay his portion. But I slightly understand his frustration given you are taking advantage. Everyone's the idiot here. You both are feeling shafted and rightfully so. You failed to mention in the post you have a 1-year-old and soon a newborn too. Why is he paying 50-50 when you will have 4 people in the house, 2 are young kids who scream and cry, and the 3 of them will be constantly around using the common space? Also, why are you upset he hasn't contributed to utilities when they haven't even begun billing for them yet? Sure, your brother is an idiot for thinking food would settle the debt, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't move out soon based on this arrangement. This is insane. Not the idiot, the food sounds like it might even out over time and shouldn't count for the debt. The fact that he's not contributing to the household bills either is concerning. Does he have the money? One thing that had me close to everyone's the idiot here, if he hadn't agreed to it himself, is why is he a single person paying half when you are a couple? You may only have one room between two, so it shouldn't be split into thirds, but surely you still take up more than half the space and resources. Personally, I don't think a 50-50 split is fair, but he agreed to it and is not paying you for what's agreed, so not the idiot. I've been with my company for nearly 6 years, and starting this year, except for the occasional in-office meeting, they're allowing me to work from home 100% of the time. It's been going well so far, but recently my wife has brought up that, since I'm home all day, she's realized our current household labor split is unfair and I need to be doing significantly more than before. She wants me to take over pretty much all the cooking and most of the day-to-day cleaning, which we've always been splitting 50-50, like everything else. I find this ridiculous because I'm still working the same job. Nothing regarding my tasks or workload has changed. I'm not a thief abusing the situation and lounging around. I'm in my home office in work mode 8 hours a day or more. So really the only difference is that I don't have a commute, which does save some time for me. I agreed that I could pick up a couple of smaller tasks due to that, but nothing major should be changing. Her big argument is that she knows people who have worked from home while taking care of toddlers, newborns, so I should be able to manage this just fine. First of all, we don't have kids, and secondly, I don't see what others' arrangements have to do with what is fair in our situation. My job is demanding regardless of where I do it, and I'm not accepting a large increase in household labor when my other responsibilities haven't actually changed. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. If you're still working a full-time job, then the only time you save is the commute. The key is to communicate this in a way that doesn't lead to a fight. Maybe you're right, since I have an extra 30 minutes by not commuting, I can get the dishes done or something like that. Then push back on more stuff because don't forget that I am still doing my regular day job. Tout the family savings of gas and mileage in the car, etc. Good luck and keep us updated on the result. Not the idiot. People who don't have the flexibility to work from home often think you're just lounging around all day. I was in a similar situation, started a new role that allowed me to work from home, and my girl started to give me errands while I'm working. Honestly, I was working even more hours, and it really annoyed me when she thought I was taking it easy. But just be blunt and let her know you're working the same amount of hours, maybe even more, since you can't really leave the office. Hopefully, it works out. Not the idiot. Yes, people manage to juggle childcare and a job, but not without significant sacrifice to their career and their health. I think you need to communicate that you still need to work a full 9 to 5 and that you need to focus on keeping your home and work life separate. Maybe there's room to compromise. If you have a spare 20 or 30 mins each day saved from your commute, you could volunteer to do more passive jobs, chopping veg, meat, to throw in a crockpot so dinner is made when she gets home, washing a load of laundry, etc., as these are low commitment, high impact, and impossible for her to do from work. I'm in the process of hiring a new divorce lawyer. The old one had to step down in the beginning stages due to a personal emergency, and I didn't feel comfortable with anyone else from that firm. My husband's brother is a high-powered lawyer, not a divorce lawyer, but very well connected, who is definitely hooking him up to someone excellent. Excellent is not in my price range. But I was thumbing through names and one stood out as familiar. Long story short, it's a woman my husband had a major falling out with in undergrad. Skipping unnecessary specifics, this girl's father was a professor at the university, and my ex did something that nearly lost him his job. She accused my ex of having done this thing. He said he was in the right to have done it. He confessed to me later in our relationship that he was in the wrong and he knew it. Unsurprisingly, this woman has really hated him her whole life. I was first told this story as an explanation for why we rushed out of his class reunion. So when I realized she's working as a divorce lawyer, and a well-rated one, I reached out. She made clear in no uncertain terms that she would marry him, and her deal was much more reasonable than anyone else's offers, even though she'd usually be way out of my price range. But my ex has really played fair in all this so far. It's not underhanded of him to hire the best lawyer he can afford, and so far he's been totally reasonable and transparent in all our dealings. At first, I thought this was the best idea ever, but the more I think about it, the more I worry I'd be an idiot to pull a move like this, especially basing it on information he told me in confidence when we were married. Would I be? Not the idiot. There is nothing unethical here. This woman would be your lawyer, not his. There is no conflict of interest. And this is a civil dispute, nothing personal, just business. No one will fault you for wanting to get a good deal. However, you need to know that, when your ex realizes what you have done, he will stop pulling his punches and likely get testy. You must not reveal the identity of your lawyer until the last moment. Hell, I would even have someone else in her firm handle the negotiations while she does the dirty work, so to speak. Not the idiot. Go with the best lawyer you can afford. No matter how you feel right now, things could change in a moment. How do you say he's being reasonable? Have you split assets yet? Have you gone over retirement assets? Have you sold the house and split the proceeds? Do you have cars and car loans and know how you will split them up? If not, you have no idea what may come up to screw you over. Go with her to make sure that you don't get a lawyer that just rolls over and tells you to take it to just get it settled. Not the idiot, because you need a good affordable lawyer, but I would carefully consider whether you want to cause drama. Keep in mind that a lawyer who is very aggressive can end up costing you more if you end up litigating every little thing or pissing off your ex so that he drags things out. It may be cheaper to get a pricier lawyer and wrap the divorce up quickly and neatly and fairly. Once the drama starts, it can be impossible to fix, especially if you guys have kids. Also, if you hire this lawyer, I would maybe ask her to play fair, which she may not be able to do. A somewhat amicable divorce is a rare gift.